Hello, Phoenix. Welcome to lesson 1 of Pop Academy. I am your teacher, your guide, your facilitator, your cheerleader, Altair, and I am wearing these rose-colored sunglasses for a reason, and we will get to that a little bit later, but for now, let me give you a warm welcome into Pop Academy. This video is mainly going to serve as an introduction to what to expect in our weekly group meetings, which are happening live on Sunday. So I'm going to go over some of the guidelines for how we operate in that space as a group and what you can expect. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the POP method. And of course, the POP methodology is the foundation of everything that we cover together in this program. So it's a way that I've been able to distill the most important principles of really harnessing your potential and your capacity as an energetic being, as the architect of your reality, to stay in alignment with the positive ideal outcomes that you are ready to attract into your life. So I've tried to make this as simple as possible. We'll go over the 3 parts, the 3 pieces of the POP method. And I'll explain to you why each of them complements the other and how, as a system, you can take it and replicate it in terms of applying it to many different categories or areas of your well-being. So it's a very powerful tool because, of course, we'll be using it, troubleshooting it, testing it, and experimenting with it together as a group over the next 12 weeks. But after that 12 weeks is over and you're no longer in the program, I want you to feel like you are a master in this technique and that you're able to continue to integrate it and carry it forward in your life. And then we're going to be talking about the tool that underpins every other tool in Pop Academy, which is the emotional compass. So I'll be teaching you what it means to really be able to resensitize yourself to the spectrum of emotion that we experience throughout a day, and how developing a sensitivity to and an awareness of your emotional landscape, you are developing a level of emotional intelligence, which is going to make you a master manifester, because this work begins and ends with how you feel. So that's where we're going to start. And then I'll go ahead and wrap things up. So I'll take off my glasses for now because I want you to see my eyes. But I'm going to come back to these later because these do symbolize something that I find is very important in Pop Academy within our program. But first, I'll go over some of the guidelines for what to expect in our group meetings. So I really recommend that you bring a journal to write in, to take notes in. Even if you're not able to attend the live meeting each week, when you're watching the recording, I want you to have that journal available to take notes, to perform the exercises and the prompts that we provide you in Pop Academy. And that's because this journal is going to become a very sacred object. It's going to be full of profound teachings, insights into your own limiting beliefs, insights into the specifics of what it is that you're really wanting in this life, and scripts and prayers and spells that are going to make you highly magnetic to all of those desires and ideal outcomes. So I highly recommend that you bring a notebook, and this is different from typing on your computer. There's a difference in the power of actually using the written word when we are dealing with teachings that are as powerful and as sacred as this. When you are writing something down in your own handwriting with your own hand, it's a very, very powerful expression of intent that the universe receives. So it's a different level of magnitude and influence than by simply typing on your computer. So I highly recommend that you have a journal. I also see these meetings as an opportunity for all of us to have a moment of self-care. That's why we filmed and recorded all of these sessions on Sundays, is because we believe that Pop Academy is an act of self-care. And so when you come to the meetings or when you watch the recordings, make it a time of self-care. Find a comfortable place to sit, bring your drinks, your snacks, get comfortable, wear comfortable clothing, enjoy. I want you to feel as though you're sitting at the campfire and you're soaking up stories and you're soaking up community. And at the same time, I highly encourage to staying focused and paying attention throughout these 2 hours that we meet on the Sundays. And of course, at our office hours throughout the week, if you choose to attend those. And that's because being present in the moment makes you a master manifester. So if we're using our meetings as a way for you to stay present and stay focused, and you can make active listening your priority, you can practice being fully immersed and in the moment. And that's going to make you a master manifester, because being present, being in the moment is the key to unlocking everything. And it does take a bit of practice. So allow this time to be a time of self-care, of relaxation, of getting comfortable, and also let it be a time of focus and paying attention. I also recommend turning your phone to airplane mode so that you're not disturbed and you're not distracted, or to send a text or to follow up with any other task or responsibility that you have beyond this program, beyond this container. So during our live meetings on Sundays, they are 2 parts, really. The first part is going to be around an hour of me teaching the lesson of the week and teaching you the tool of the week. The second hour is going to be live coaching, Q&A, open dialogue, and a forum for group discussion. Okay, so in that first hour, we're going to ask that you have all of your questions saved for the chat box. So instead of asking a question and me responding right then and there, we find it's really helpful to just go ahead and use the chat box. Sean, my partner and co-facilitator, will be monitoring all the questions coming in and making sure that I see the ones that are the most urgent, and also then saving those questions for, every 10-15 minutes, we'll circle back and see whether we've covered everything and gotten all of those questions answered. So, the second part of the meeting is where it becomes much more dynamic. And of course, anyone is free to jump in and join the conversation. We do it this way so that I make sure that I can cover everything in our time together, because I want to make sure that you have all the information you need to use these tools effectively. So we also have one other guideline in terms of group chat, and that is time limit. So what we've done is we've fashioned a little astronaut named Major Tom, and he's here to remind you and to symbolize needing to come back down to Earth, that your countdown has begun in terms of your sharing. So, usually Major Tom will come in around the 3 or 4 minute mark. This is just a helpful reminder for all of us that our word is really a part of becoming a master manifester, and to be concise and focused with your comment is a really good way of practicing how precise and intentional you are with your thoughts and all of your other contributions throughout the day, which are going to impact your magnetism. It's going to impact the rate at which you're able to manifest. So many of us find that we get caught up in telling the same story about our lives. And so Major Tom also comes in to remind us when we can wrap up the concept, especially when it's pertaining to events that have transpired in the past, which are no longer helpful because we're really putting effort into imagining and speaking that new reality into existence. So Major Tom just keeps us on track, you know, and Sean, my partner, he has full permission to be using this on me at any time as well. So just know that he's here for a bit of comedic relief, and really he's our friend, Major Tom. So good. That is basically it in terms of the guidelines for our group chats. And I want to make sure that I'm giving you a really solid, clear overview of the POP method, because this is what's going to underpin and be woven into every single lesson that we share in POP Academy. And so I'm going to share my screen here. I have this slide up, which I'm sure you can see now on your screen. So this is the POP method, and it begins with inner healing. Then it goes on to getting in alignment. And then we move on to believing and receiving. And these are the three parts that are the main nuts and bolts of manifesting. And you can use the system and apply the system to any area or category of your well-being. I find that I like to focus on maybe 1 to 3 areas of my life at a time, because otherwise it can get a bit overwhelming, especially if you're just starting or you're new to this. So I want to make sure that I'm providing you with helpful definitions of each part of this methodology. So what do I mean by inner healing? Inner healing is the releasing of limiting beliefs, subconscious programs, wounds, trauma, and memories that carry a negative emotional charge. All of that information is affecting and influencing our emotions, our perception of reality, our relationship to ourselves and the universe. And we really have to clean all of that up and pull up all of those weeds before we're able to plant new growth in the garden. Now, the reason why this is so important is because of the story and the power of the story. And I say that the main problem with life and the main solution to life is the story. And so long as we continue to tell ourselves stories about not being worthy, of judging others, of feeling like a victim in life, etc., the more we are magnetizing more of those similar experiences into our lives. So we have to make sure that we're being honest with ourselves about what we think of ourselves, what we think of others, and how we deal with deep trauma or fear, doubt, shame, guilt, sadness, hurt. How do we deal with all of those emotions effectively? We're really not taught that in school. We're not taught that level of emotional intelligence on how to effectively heal an emotion by deeply feeling it and then releasing it and replacing it. So I teach you my tools and my methodologies based on some shamanic practices, some breathwork practices, some hypnosis techniques. I've pulled the pieces that I find the most effective, the most efficient from different methods from around the world and created one tool that really helps you identify limiting beliefs and then release them and replace those limiting beliefs. So staying in alignment is about becoming highly magnetic to your desires. And becoming is such an amazing word for understanding what it means to stay in alignment. Because when you be, what you want comes. So staying in alignment means you're able to access a state of being and a state of feeling that is in energetic alignment with what you want to attract. So you're literally, you know, if this is you and your energetic composition at any given time, your emotional composition at any given time, and this is your desire, which would feel like freedom and love and joy and success and abundance and happiness, if you're over here in an energetic state of doubt and scarcity and fear, then you can't line up with your desire. So getting in alignment is all about being able to match the energetic frequency of the experience that you want to attract into your life. The shortcut to that is maintaining a state of gratitude throughout the day, maintaining a state of fun and play and enjoyment throughout the day. It's all about feeling good now on your way to feeling better, on your way to feeling better and better and better. Of course, we can't do this without the inner healing. We can't bypass those subconscious programs, beliefs, memories, wounds, traumatic moments that inform our personalities, that inform our emotional reactions to the world around us. We can't just skip straight to staying in alignment. It's always a dance and a back and forth between trying to be in alignment for as much of the time as you possibly can, noticing those limiting beliefs when they come up, because you're going to be developing your emotional sensitivity to recognize, oh, I don't feel as good. This is likely related to a thought pattern or a belief. What is that thought pattern or belief that precipitated the emotion? So we're going to talk about that in the emotional compass tool, which I'll go over in just a minute. So, inner healing, staying in alignment. The third piece, very critical, is that you believe in receiving this ideal outcome. You trust and know that it is possible for you. In fact, you get to a place where you understand that as soon as you've already had a creative thought and desire about something, it's already done. And you really don't have to get caught up in the how or the what or the when, because it's already done. And even if it's not visible to you in that moment, everything is in place for it to arrive into your field and into your experience. So we want to make sure that you are in a state of receptivity, to know that you can trust in the universe to provide that experience into your life. It is law. So we have to develop a deep trust and understanding that, just like gravity, if we're able to have a very clear and concise understanding of what it is that we want to achieve in our lives, then it already exists. It's already available to us, and it's just a matter of staying in alignment for as often as we can, because that's a state of magnetism that allows the manifestation to come into your field. So now I'll talk a little bit about the emotional compass. So the reason why I wear these rose-colored glasses is to illustrate a point, which is that we, by the end of this program, are all going to be able to see the world through rose-colored glasses. And I know rose-colored glasses often symbolize this kind of blind faith and optimism, which is unrealistic and a bit naive. I say bullshit, because we are all equipped with an incredible tool, which is to feel good. And feeling good really is the way for us to attract more good things into our life. Now, but before we get there, I just want to make sure that everyone in the program has a really solid sense and sensitivity to their emotional landscape and their emotional composition. So without judging or comparing any one emotion as being better or superior to any other emotion, we're just going to practice becoming very, very sensitive to our emotions. So when they teach you how to play the violin, they don't teach you immediately the strings and the notes and have you practicing various scales. The teacher just teaches the student how to do this without holding the violin, without holding the bow. It's just this movement and perfecting this movement. And so that's what the emotional compass tool is here to help you do. So it is a 4-step process. The first step is that you just become aware of how you're feeling throughout the day. Do this as often as possible. You might want to set some alarms on your phone. You might want to wear a piece of jewelry that signifies to you a prompt of, oh, how am I feeling? This is the question, how am I feeling? And just ask yourself how you're feeling, what emotion comes to mind, and maybe it's a very soft and quiet emotion. Maybe it's just a sense of general satisfaction or ease, or maybe it's just feeling very mildly irritated by something. Understand that there's of course no wrong answer, but we want to get better and better at understanding the layers, the complexity, the flavors of all the different emotions in our emotional range. And then once you know exactly how you're feeling, the next question is, where do you feel that in your body? So how do you know, based on your physical sensation, how you are feeling? If you're feeling angry, can you tell because your heart is beating fast and you feel heat in your cheeks? For example, if you're feeling really ecstatic and excited, do you feel a smile on your face? Do you feel a kind of buzzing around your heart? And take note of how you're feeling in your body. Then the fourth step is to now become aware of the thought that led to that emotion. So once we get a sense of various patterns or situations that reliably cause us to feel certain ways, those are amazing hints of being able to follow those breadcrumbs back to a particular limiting belief or wound or trauma that helps you do that inner cleaning work, freeing up all of that loose energy so that you can apply it to your manifestations. And then finally, I encourage the use and the practice of using feeling statements throughout the week. So when having a conversation with someone, try to use more statements about how you're feeling, how you're feeling in your body, how you're feeling emotionally. Oh, it feels really good to hear that. Or wow, I'm feeling so relaxed now that you've helped me with this particular problem I was having. You get the idea. So I will screen share again and show you some of the resources and materials that I have created, so that you have something tangible to refer back to throughout the week. So I will just share my screen with you in a moment. Here we have lesson 1, the tool, the emotional compass. I've written some text here to help you better understand the concept. And then here we have the emotional compass tool template. So again, you are going to log mentally or physically in your journal how you're feeling and how that feels in your body, and the thought that led to that feeling, and then practice a feeling statement about how you're feeling. And if you keep doing this over and over again, you're going to train your awareness, you're going to become more mindful of how you're feeling, and this is going to really become your superpower and your way to achieve success with your manifestations, with abundance, with love very, very quickly. I've also included this emotion wheel because I find it very helpful to get a sense of that level of sensitivity around the various emotions that you will be experiencing throughout the day. So rather than just saying, oh, I feel really angry, you could have a more specific understanding of the degree of anger, whether it's more bitterness, whether it's more frustration. And this is important, is knowing the entire spectrum and the entire palette of our emotional landscape. And at this point, I'm not asking you to do anything else. Again, it's this basic resensitizing yourself to your emotions and just noticing how you're feeling at various times throughout the day. Again, it can be really helpful to put post-it notes around the house just to prompt, how am I feeling? And some kind of visual reinforcement to get that to stick. But I'm really looking forward to our group conversations around how this exercise went for you, what you experienced, what you noticed, when you might feel bad more regularly and angry, when do you feel happier or more sad. So great, that's all you need to know for now. I don't want to take up too much of your time or overwhelm you. And good luck with your assignment for week 1. And I can't wait to regroup and see you again once you've had a chance to apply the emotional compass to your life. So wishing you a beautiful day of magic and miracles. And I can't wait to see you again soon.